By level 100, money laundering is not a crime that happens inside the economy. It is the economy. We are talking about entire banks missing billions and a super yacht named after someone's mum. But nobody starts at level 100. Everyone starts at level 1, with one nervous man, a shoebox of cash, and absolutely no idea what he's doing. This is every level of money laundering, from pocket change to entire countries. And at every single level, someone is watching. Level 1 is the tradie who got paid in cash for jobs that never met an invoice. The money is real. The problem is explaining it. Dirty money is just money with no believable story. And this man's story is a shoebox. So he spends it slowly. Fuel, groceries, a suspiciously nice barbecue. His mistake is thinking small amounts are invisible. They are not. Tax officers run data matching on declared income versus lifestyle, and when a man declaring 30 grand a year rolls up in a brand new ute, someone in a grey office gets a little alert. And that person has nothing else going on. That is the thing about level 1. You are not up against detectives. You are up against a bored analyst with a spreadsheet, which is, honestly, far scarier. Level 5 buys a business. A cash business. Car washes, nail bars, kebab shops. Anywhere money arrives as paper and leaves as a bank deposit. The idea, conceptually, is simple. Mix dirty cash into the till and let it come out the other side looking like honest revenue from very enthusiastic customers. The problem is arithmetic. Regulators benchmark every industry. They know roughly how much soap a car wash buys, how much power it uses, and how many cars fit in a day. When a 2-bay car wash reports revenue like it is washing the entire national fleet, questions get asked. The classic tell is a business that is always empty and somehow always thriving. If your local laundromat has no customers, no queues, and a brand new Mercedes out front, it may be washing more than clothes. Level 10 discovers teamwork. This is Smurfing, named after small blue creatures each doing one small job. Instead of one big deposit that triggers a report, the money gets broken up and walked into banks by a rotating cast of cousins, each carrying an amount designed to look boring. Here is the catch. Banks do not just report big deposits. They report patterns. Software watches for swarms of small deposits landing in connected accounts and deliberately structuring deposits to dodge reporting is a crime all by itself. So even if the money were clean, the choreography is not. Also, and this cannot be stressed enough, the whole scheme now depends on the discretion of your cousins. A group chat exists. It is named something like business stuff. One day a prosecutor will read it aloud in court, slowly, with excellent diction. Level 20 stops touching cash and starts touching paperwork. Shell companies. Firms that exist on paper, own nothing, make nothing, and yet somehow invoice each other constantly. Money moves as payment for consulting that never happened, performed by consultants who do not exist. On a bank statement, it looks like commerce. In reality, it is a puppet show where one man plays every puppet. What kills it is the trail. Every invoice, every transfer, every registry entry is a breadcrumb, and paper does not forget. Investigators love shell companies for exactly this reason. Eventually, someone notices that 400 companies share one address, that the address is a mailbox, and that the listed director is a retired woman overseas who has never heard of any of this. She thought she was signing a gym waiver. Level 35 gets into property, because nothing hides money like a house. The concept is old. Buy real estate with questionable funds, wait, renovate, sell, and the proceeds come back dressed as respectable capital gains. Property is attractive because it soaks up enormous sums in a single transaction, and nobody blinks when the price goes up. That is just Tuesday. The counterattack is transparency. Financial intelligence units track who really owns what, and beneficial ownership rules exist to unmask the person hiding behind 3 trusts and a company named after a Greek god. Cash purchases of luxury homes by 23-year-olds with no visible income tend to generate paperwork. The romantic part is that the launderer often genuinely loves the house. It is the one honest relationship in his life. It is also evidence, and unlike the cousins, it cannot flee the country. Level 50 walks into a casino, and not for fun. Conceptually, it works like a currency exchange with mood lighting. Dirty cash becomes chips. The chips take a gentle stroll around the tables and lose a polite amount. Then they become a check from the casino, which looks an awful lot like winnings. He is the only man on earth delighted to lose money, and that is exactly what gives him away. Casinos are reporting entities. They log big cash buy-ins, they film everything from 9 angles, and regulators have torn strips off casinos that look the other way. Entire royal commissions have been built on what happened in high roller rooms. The house always wins, and when the regulator arrives, the house also always cooperates. Suddenly, your relaxing night out is Exhibit C, in high definition, including the bit where you waved at the camera. Level 65 goes global. Trade-based laundering. Money crosses borders disguised as commerce, hidden in the price of goods instead of in suitcases. A container of cheap goods gets invoiced like it is carrying treasure, or treasure gets invoiced like junk, and the difference in value quietly settles a debt on the other side of the world. It is laundering buried inside the spreadsheets of world trade, which is a very large haystack. But customs agencies compare notes now. When the export data from one country says toothbrushes and the import invoice works out to $4,000 per toothbrush, an analyst somewhere puts down their coffee. Mispriced trade sticks out statistically, like a whale in a backyard pool. And this operation needs shippers, brokers, and freight clerks. That is a long list of people who can be offered a very good deal to start talking. Level 80 does not launder money personally. Level 80 hires professionals, lawyers, accountants, wealth managers, the enablers. People whose entire job is building structures where money enters as an awkward question and exits as a family trust in a sunny jurisdiction with excellent privacy laws. The paperwork is immaculate. The fees are obscene. Everyone shakes hands and nobody says the quiet part. What breaks this level is rarely detective work. It is leaks. One law firm's files walk out the door and suddenly half the world's hidden wealth is searchable by journalists. Panama Papers, Pandora Papers, entire careers evaporating into a spreadsheet. The lesson is that secrets scale badly. A secret between two people is a secret. A secret maintained by a firm of 300 people billing in 6-minute increments is a press release with a delay on it. Level 90 is the banks themselves. Not a bad customer slipping through. Institutional failure at planetary scale. History's biggest cases involve major banks moving billions for cartels and sanctioned regimes because the compliance department was underfunded, ignored, or both. One bank famously processed drug money through teller windows that had been specially widened to fit the cash boxes. That is not a metaphor. That happened. When it unravels, the consequences are fines with more digits than a phone number, deferred prosecution agreements, and executives explaining that they are deeply, deeply concerned. Rarely handcuffs. The fine is often smaller than the profit, which critics point out is less a punishment and more a service fee. But the era of shrugging is ending. Regulators now hunt compliance failures for sport, and one laundering scandal can vaporize a share price faster than the apology can clear legal review. Level 100 is not a person hiding money from a state. Level 100 is the state. Kleptocracy. Sovereign wealth funds drained through fake investments, national banks emptied by whoever holds the pen, billions vanishing into art, yachts, and at least one film production company. At this level, the launderer does not fear the police because the launderer signs the police force's budget. The money flows through every level below at once. The shells, the properties, the enablers, the banks. A greatest hits album of everything we just covered. What ends it is exile, sanctions, or one board auditor in a foreign country noticing a transfer that makes no sense. Because that is the punchline of the entire game. From the shoebox to the sovereign fund, it always ends the same way. Somebody, somewhere, checks the numbers twice. Next time, every level of tax evasion, the gentle art of insisting it was all an accounting error.